Okay, so I want you to know this has been a huge learning curve for me, and it's been exciting. So we're going to kind of be learning together, and I'll see how quick I can do it, but I'm not sure that it's gonna, I think I'm gonna go over the 15 minutes. So I'll just go as quickly as I can and share this with everybody. So, okay, first off, Susan, you need to help me to be able to share. Do I just click share screen?
Yeah, I've made you the host.
Okay, so I just will go ahead and do this now. You might be able to see me. I don't know what, share. I don't know what I'm sharing. Am I supposed to?
You got your screen up already that you want to share? I'm
going to go through lots of different tabs. So there, I think I have what I need. All right, except for this top bar is blocking my things. Okay, so we're talking about adding memories to our family, our people in Family Search. I wanted to show one thing really quickly because I'm not covering this, but this screen is Family Search Memories. This is the app that you can have on your smartphones and be able to do the things that I'm talking about tonight, but I have not used it. But I know that I've heard that it is very good. So if you want to be using a phone, then this would be the app that you want to download onto your phone, okay? If you're going into Family Search on the computer, this is where I'm going to be working tonight, and the videos that I'm going to share will be coming from, we'll be discussing the site, not the phone app. If you can see, okay, I don't know, I can't see this. Let's see. Do you guys see that the picture? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
You can hold the little thing that has all of our pictures and move it down or move it over wherever you want.
And do you see it from what I'm sharing, or do you just see my shared screen?
I see your shared screen.
Okay, so you can see that I'm signed into Family Search already. Okay, and the links at the top, there is a link for memories right up at the top, and so you click on this, and there are different choices. If you go to Overview, then there are links here that you can go down, and it, you can learn more about different things on there. I am going to start out with the gallery. If you're clicking on the gallery, you will see everything that you may have already uploaded onto your tree. Most of these people are not related to me. Some are, because I've done a lot of things for someone else in the ward. So, but if I scroll clear to the bottom, these are definitely the very first things I was loading on in memories. This is my step grandfather and my grandmother, my father's mother. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up later, and I'm gonna talk about these things right here, okay? Because as I was learning the things we're doing tonight, I totally can tell that I added pictures, but I did not do it completely or correctly. You can see that every single one of mine, almost everyone wants me to add a title. I do have a couple of titles here, but I will show you what I can do to improve those. But we're gonna just go ahead and move first. I wanna just show you the different areas, and you can see when I'm in gallery right here, that the next line has these icons. I'm gonna talk about these icons. Again, the gallery shows you what you've uploaded, everything. Photos, you can just do the photos. You can just do the stories. This is documents you might have uploaded, and this is the audio. I'm gonna go to another screen now and just share this screen, because this is what it's saying. These are the things that you can add to your ancestors' and improve what's on there. One good thing about sharing with memories is that I can go on and I will be able to see all of the wonderful things that other people have already put on. As well as you're sharing with everyone, if you don't know somebody in your photo, you might have family who get on and say, and they can actually label or tag, it's called tagging, who those people are. So there are the photos, and I'm going to distinguish some of these a little clearer for you. So there's photos, there's stories that you can add, documents, and audio files. So my misconception was that documents pretty much were just text, just all text. But I have scanned in some documents, which I'm thinking, okay, now they're photos. But this is the difference between a photo and a document. So you can see the pictures here. This one over to the right is all text. I mean, it is a photo, but it's all text. So it is called a document, not a photo. Even though it might be a JPEG, it is not a photo. Whereas the pictures with people in them are photos. If you have a picture of someone in front of a Yellowstone National Park sign, that's still a photo because it's not really documents documenting details of their life. All right, so both of these are photos and that is a document. Okay, so this is tricky. I need to move you guys so I can reach the bottom of my screen here. All right, so I'm gonna go out of that one for a minute. Stories can be shared again through like a photo type. It could be a document, but you can have maybe a page that you scan of a story of somebody or a diary. It can be counted as a document, but can also be the stories. It's best if you're doing stories to probably type them on like Microsoft Word. And then when you get done, you can copy and paste it in, because you only have, I believe I learned that you have about an hour if you're typing something directly in as a memory, and you could run out of time. They also suggested that when you are typing something, you lose a lot of your formatting, so you're not going to have fancy fonts. They said it's best if you double space between paragraphs so that you can retain some formatting when you upload it to Family Search. So that will be something to keep in mind. Okay. And audio files. Well, we'll get into the different types of how to save. When you are saving, they all actually are digital copies of something that are being uploaded into there. So I'll show you that in a minute. Let me click on the next tab. And this one, I want to just share about 3 minutes on this. This is showing how you actually get into add a memory onto your gallery. All right, so I'm just going to play this video for a minute. Let me first blow it up, and I'll play this 3-minute video.
So there's a plus sign right here in the middle that says basically second part of it is this particular
Joan, we can't hear it, or at least I can't hear it.
Oh,
I can't either.
What do I need to do to fix that? I've paused this. I'm not smart enough, you guys.
Probably next to the mute button, there's a little arrow. You might be able to choose what's picking up the microphone and switch it to something on the computer instead of the microphone you're using.
This microphone says mute. If I click it, it'll mute it.
The arrow next to that.
There's a little arrow next to it if you click.
That little arrow just
We won't
plays.
be able to hear you, but we'll be able to hear your computer.
That just says play, and that's what I had it on.
Okay, a little up arrow.
Arrow, it should say select a microphone, select a speaker. That
Mm-mm.
It's a menu that pops up out of the mute button.
Okay, I don't know. I don't have a menu popping up for the mute or that.
What if you right click on the mute or the
No, on Zoom, not on YouTube.
on Zoom?
On the Zoom.
down at the very bottom left where it's,
Up here, mute.
and there's a little arrow next to the mute.
Okay, that's up at the top of my phone. Same as system speakers,
Oh.
same as system test speaker and microphone. Leave computer audio settings.
Somehow you can maybe switch it to your computer. We won't be able to hear you, but we'll be able to hear the video, and then you can switch it back when you want to talk.
Record it. Okay, you guys, I'm just gonna have to explain to you.
Yeah,
If you
probably
can
better.
hear me, I'm just explaining because I don't know how to do this any differently. So if you can hear me and I'm listening to the audio, anyway, it's showing you these icons that I talked about. So you can click the all button and you can, this is only photos. Document stories and the audio microphone. You can look in clicking at those, you can see all the categories of what you have. Okay, I'm just gonna pause this. So the difference again that I explained between a photo and a document will have mostly just words. That's something that it can also serve as one of your sources for someone. It can serve both to be put into the memories, but can also be used for a source if it's documenting a birth, a census record, things like that.
So you decide where you want to put things, right? So
I think so.
right. So I decide where I want to put it. If I want to put it in documents or if I want to put it in a story is up to me, right? So
when I was stuff earlier, actually I had pulled up a name. Then I could click on the memories and upload something right there to that person. And quite frankly, I didn't even know about the gallery. I was just uploading things to specific people. So like my grandfather, I uploaded those pictures straight to him. But now I'm seeing, as I learn about the gallery and what it's for, I'm seeing that they're there and I haven't completed what I should be doing on those photos. So I'm going to, let me just quickly show you, let's see if I can move this to 2904. All right, and I'm just going to keep it paused. When you very first time you do this, you will probably get a pop-up that asks you to agree to this submissions agreement. It will be very clear because as you submit things, now it's a public domain and it's like you're giving the rights to the church and they can do whatever they want with those. So it's not like you own that copyright to that picture anymore, okay? So that's important to know. And the other thing, you can read through that when you do this, and then 32, let's see. There's also in memories an upload guidelines, which helps you know what you can and cannot use. So just know there are very specific things that you are not allowed to have on there. You can't have vulgar profanity. You're not even allowed to have people with bathing suits, even if way back when they looked more like pajamas and covered everything. They will deny those rights to have them posted. So also I learned they can't kiss. You can't have kissing or also firearms. So they could deny you putting it on. So once you put something on, it usually, when I put a picture on, it'll give it's like it says processing. It has a little banner across the picture and says processing. And that gives them time to look and make sure that it's appropriate for the Family Search website. But when it does that, you will have even though it has the processing on there, there's a red button underneath it that's an exclamation point. If you click on that, that's where you're going to be able to tag the people within the picture. I'm pretty sure that all of you have seen things that are tagged like that because they use it on other public domain sites that you've seen. It's not new to anybody, is it, to tag people in videos or in pictures? So I think I'll come to one that'll show that if I could figure out how to get the video. But let me just show you. Everything that you submit needs to be digitized from a scanner or camera or file. So you, and then these are the formats that it will support. The first four are pictures. Your JPEG, I wrote that down. It's called lossy format, which means as you manipulate that picture, you lose clarity in it. TIFF is something that does not lose clarity if you're using that, and that was new to me. And I can't remember the other two, but all four of those are for pictures. PDF, if you are, I did this for a member of the ward quite a lot of times. We went onto the internet and found obituaries that had pictures and then the obituary. And I went in and just copied and pasted it into a document, but I couldn't save it as a document. If you just save it as doc, it would not load up into Family Search. So you have to make sure you choose that you're saving a PDF or a JPEG. And then you'll be able to load it onto Family Search. And
You should also be able to print in a PDF if you had something typed up in another program.
yes, PDF is very acceptable it's pretty universal. So, and then the last two here is for your audio files. The MP4A, they said, was the newest, maybe most clear. The higher resolution or the higher grade you do, the larger the file will be. And you can only do up to 15 megabytes, which I think he said that if in a document, it might be 10 to 15 pages, maybe a little more. And so depending, so like if you were gonna wanna upload a diary that was much bigger, then you need to find places that you could break it off and you would have to save it in chunks. And if it's a book, maybe you're not even going to get a whole chapter, maybe a half a chapter at a time. So you would have to label it as such so that you could tell. PDF, one of the advantages of PDF is that you can have multiple pages and just scroll through the pages. If you do JPEGs, you might just have one page that you've taken a picture of, and then the next page you're taking a picture of. So you have to open and close different pictures, where PDF might be better for, having more pages in one document. Even if you have to separate it, it will be less doing it that way. Okay, so let me turn over my other page. That first one came from BYU, was a BYU. This one that I'm opening up is from another lady, and you're not gonna be able to hear it, so a lot of good this is gonna do, but let me get to the page I wanted. I'll try to just walk you through. This is now showing what it looks like to actually tag someone in your photos, because you take your photo and you click like between their eyes, and it'll come up and you can start typing. If it's someone that you've already got in, you already have uploaded into your family tree, then as you start typing, it'll give you choices of who to choose, and you can just click on her name and it will tag her picture to her. Okay. And then she was showing this person she did not have in her family tree. So as she started typing, no selections were given. So she said, add somebody. And so you're able to add in and write in whose those are. And by tagging them, it brings it up over to here, image to tag people. I think that what it does is it attaches this picture to each one of those individuals that you have tagged.
Yes.
So it shares it to each person, so you don't have to just go into every single person and try to add this photo to their family search. So Susan, it sounds
Will
like
those tags be visible by other people as well?
Yes. So once you've tagged it, and it's really important to put a title, you have opened it up to everybody, including a Google search. If you know where she had this lady on there that you could Google search, and this picture might, if you go to images on Google, it might show up because it is searchable to the world. Now here's a rule about tagging. If you were uploading a picture of a living person, you know that the living documents and everything are only visible to the person who's uploaded them, right? If you're adding, like if I added my kids, they're living, well, if they add themselves, we'll both end up with a different not membership numbers, ID numbers. So there might be two, but once someone passes away, then you're merging them together so that all information comes together as one. If you have a deceased person that you're tagging, everybody can see it. It's available to everybody. If it's a living person, it will not be. However, let's say you have a picture. If I had a picture of my mom and my family, my mom and dad are passed away, I tag just them, then this picture, even though I'm in it, is visible to everybody. And even I think if I tag my name, I'm not quite sure. I just understood that it will be visible to everyone, even though there are living people within the picture. Okay, so if I didn't tag my mom and dad in there and only tag the living people, it would remain private on my gallery and with whatever person I attach those to. Okay, does that make sense? That was something new to me. There's also a place right here that is description. So you can write where the picture was taken, maybe who the photographer was, if you knew that. Any details you want, you can add there. There's plenty of room there. However, if you are writing in the title, this is where they suggested that you write in more than what I did. I was putting here, I'll go back to this. I was putting my grandfather's marriage certificate to my grandmother for her second marriage. And I went out and looked for that and ordered it, purchased it, and received that in the mail back. And so I just put marriage registration because I was adding it right to his memories. So I thought, well, that's enough. I don't need to write his whole name because we're on, his page. but I can clearly see that I have not done this correctly and that it's important they showed examples of making sure that you, even in a document that you put in, you tag all of the people within that document. So if I'm sure on this document, maybe if I can open it up. If we look at this document, you know, I have my grandfather's father's name here and his mother's name. So, and my grandmother's father and mother's name. And I need to be documenting, tagging each of those names hooked to this document, because then it will share it to each of those people's pages as a memory. So I need to go back in. I was going to do it with you, but it's to save time. And I haven't done it purposely because I was hoping that we could do one together, but I'm a little afraid to try it with everyone watching. But you can click anywhere on this page, I think, and tag. So click the image to tag people.
So just point to somebody's name. And
And
tell,
I could just do this. Well, if I can move this around. So, okay, so I'm just going to do this for a second and you can help me, because that's the whole purpose of doing this, was to get help. So if I could do that,
yeah,
who is in this memory? And then I can type his name.
yes.
There he is. And it tagged him. And he's already got this picture in there. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but I can go in and tag each one of these individuals and look for them and pull them into this document. And I also need to add, anyway, I need to add a title. And they said in the title, you should also put as much information as will fit. So I should also be putting Howard Clifford Todd and Marjorie Peterson. Well, I'll probably put Marjorie Peterson, S-O-N, and then Peterson. Her maiden name's S-O-N, and she married an S-E-N. And then this is her second husband. So I need to go through all of these gallery people that I did not do correctly and tag people so that they can be found and used accordingly. I'm just going to give you.
Go up to your title and click on that, and you could add that really easily.
Oh, edit title. I couldn't see that. So I would put, oops. Is that enough?
Yep.
I think truthfully, I think that they would want me to put every name, because they were talking about if you did a journal entry, you potentially could have lots of names in there that you should tag to that document.
You could
So I
tag them,
really,
but the name of the document is what you've put there.
I know, but they said in the name of the document, maybe over here, I could put a comma and I could add Donald.
I think in the description, that might be a good place. That's kind of where they had all the other names
Well,
on the side.
okay, I'm gonna look into it more, because you're right, I could add a description of more, but if you tag those people, I don't know, they just told me to put as much as you can fit into the title.
I would put the date maybe in the title. But it's their marriage, and so I would just keep their names in the title, and then people would naturally know, usually in a marriage document, it lists names of their parents. And you are tagging the
And
parents.
I would still tag them so that this document would still go to the parents
Yes.
and show up there. All right, I feel good about that. Anyway, I can't add the date because I don't remember, but you know what? I'm just going to tell you a quick story about this document because I was so pleased. My dad's father died when he was like 13, I don't know, very young. and Cliff Todd was the only grandfather I ever knew. And I knew him from growing up and I loved him dearly. But I was looking for this document, and when it came, my dad had no idea when they were married. And when it came and I looked at the date, wherever it's listed, they were married on my dad's birthday. How fun was that to find out? So that was awesome. The only other thing I wanted to tell you, I know there's a lot of other details, you know, on how to clip and paste and, you know, format a picture to be a certain way. First thing is to look for duplicates. So before you upload a picture, look at what is already in Memories. If it's the exact same picture, don't load it, because some people 2, 3, 4, 5 times have the same picture on there. However, if your picture is cleaner, if your picture is a full picture and not just the face, if your picture, any reason like that, please upload your picture to their Memories. You definitely should tag and title each one. No one can see it until it is tagged. Okay, so I don't know if someone can go in and see this document with my grandfather. I put it right there in Memories. So I don't know, that would be interesting, but I now know that I have a lot of catching up to do. If you have pictures of unknown people, because a lot of us have our parents' pictures or grandparents' pictures and we don't know who those people are, you can upload it and tag maybe 1 or 2 people if you know them. If you don't know any, go ahead and title it and maybe call it Unidentified Relatives of my grandfather, you know, or Howard Clifford Todd. And then as people look, they can tag and say, oh, I know who that person is. So you still should go ahead and put those kinds of pictures on and not be afraid. And then follow the guidelines that I showed you earlier that are listed so that you make sure that you don't get, if you get denied putting it on, they'll send you an email and tell you why. So those are just the quick guidelines on getting Memories. There's also, let me see. This shows a person being tagged. If you could scroll over these, you would see that each one of these was tagged, but you can only see it one at a time. Do you see how he wrote where and then also added the photographer's name in there? I was going to show you something about this one.
Yeah, we've only got 5 minutes.
I'm going to quit. This one had to do with, this was showing just adding Memories and tagging. Again, putting your additional information down here. You can delete what you've put on. And it said that if you delete a record like that, it gives you 120 days to, because they know sometimes we goof up and whatever, it'll give you 120 days to maybe grab it back in if you want it before they delete it permanently. So anyway, that's what I have. I hopefully that was helpful.
Did you find anything about the audio files?
Oh, you know, if you're in here, down at the bottom, that's what this one is showing later, but down at the bottom right here, there is an audio. You can click on that and just add, like you can talk right into your device. And if you don't have an audio on your computer, you can do it on your phone. But that's one way to just add maybe a statement you might know, or they lived here, or whatever you might know about that picture.
Oh, I have a recording of my grandmother. Is there somewhere in here that I can add that?
You just go straight, you go into Memories and Gallery and add and click that plus sign up at the top. And I think you can just drag it in and drop that file right into the top gray spot under that. I think you can just drag and drop.
Okay.
Not that I've ever done it. All right, any other questions? All right. You have to just kind of be brave and jump in with both feet.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else can delete something you've posted. They can tag things, but they can't delete something you've put on there.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
looks like we're about out of time. Any questions if it's less than a minute?
Sorry, I knew I was going to take a lot of time.
That's okay, that was wonderful.
Please feel free to call or ask a question if, reach out to one of us if you are stumbling with this, and we'll learn together.
That's good stuff. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for those who've joined us today. Spread the word. We'd love to have more participants. So we appreciate you coming on with us.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I don't know how to do this.
Stop sharing screen.
I see. Oh, it's the red thing. Okay, thank you. Sorry. I'm ending.